Welcome, bodybuilding fans around the world, to a super cool episode of Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins.
No cap.
No cap, a swagged out Louis Vuitton Don, real deal. Chris
dripping on y'all, no cap.
No cap. Chris is dripping so much we got some paper towels underneath his chair. Tarek, looking like one of the guys from The Matrix.
Mr. Anderson.
They have a lot of Andersons in Brazil that you can chase after?
You do?
Mr. Anderson.
We're going with the Matrix theme today.
We're nice. Well,
look at he's still in character.
Tarek is. You as always have a full gamut of thing going on that just works for you.
Well, I mean, coming to the show, I need to bring the drip. I need to bring all the real dealness. I'm the realest of the group, so I got to keep it moving because there's people out there waiting to see what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying?
I always love when you hear that I'm the realist, which apparently means I'm a giant phony hologram. Thanks so much, Chris, for playing along. Derek, let's just you and I have a discussion about bodybuilding on the real deal. So there is a bit of a German rivalry right now between Michael Sommerfeld and Urs Kalaczynski. The Miracle Bear. These two guys, as sweet as Urs might be, they don't like each other.
No, they unfollowed each other on Instagram.
Really?
They don't like each other.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yes. So that you know the history of these two competitors. Mike Sommerfeld and Urs Kalaczynski. That's how you pronounce his name. Kalaczynski. And Mike Sommerfeld.
Urs.
They competed. They came out to the IFBB Pro League. That's
Mexico, right?
In Mexico at the Tijuana Pro.
And I thought they liked each other then.
Can I just finish my... Yes, thank you so much.
I will say, before you jump in, before Chris gets in, it does sound like the start of a bad joke. Two Germans walk into the Tijuana Pro. Go ahead.
Well, those two Germans... I want to give credit to my great friend, Gabriel. He is the promoter of the Tijuana Pro. I've been able to judge that show the last 2 years. Incredible event. We crossed the border. He's got a great hotel, great food, and a lot of great competitors. On that specific day, Mike Sommerfeld beat Urs Kalaczynski, and everybody was impressed by these two German guys. Who the hell are they? They looked incredible. Going to the Mr. Olympia, obviously, Mike Sommerfeld was supposed to be the better one. But it didn't turn out like that. Urs Kalaczynski impressed everybody and got in the top 5. And Mike Sommerfeld fell. So this whole year, Mike Sommerfeld, all he heard in Germany was how great Urs was. Urs this, Urs that. Oh my God, Urs Kalaczynski, he's the new guy. He's the new Dennis Wolf. He's the new this. And he probably got pissed off and fed up. He almost wanted to tell everybody, I beat this guy in Tijuana. He just beat me once. It turned out that in the Mr. Olympia, they faced each other. Sommerfeld was in the top 5 with Urs. And now the rivalry is real. Now you can't just talk about Urs Kalaczynski coming from Germany. You gotta talk about, Mike Sommerfeld. They're both great. Chris, which one is your favorite? Lose some followers.
Well, the thing is, I've kind of been in contact with both of these guys.
Bitch! Bitch!
I've been in contact with both of these guys, so I'm friends with both of them.
You got that samurai cap and you act like a bitch?
So, can you say that?
But you're reaching out to these guys.
No, but I'm saying, I've been in their corners. I've been in, trying to help them with what I can see that they needed help in some posing or something like that. Nothing more than that, but just trying to be a helpful hand to the younger generation,
Which one do you like better?
Well, I mean, I think the most upside is with Urs. I think the maturity is going to go with Mike, and he's probably a little bit thicker. Urs still has the thing. He needs to underuse the arm movements so much from me, and got to get those arms a little bit thicker to utilize some of those poses, in my opinion. But I think the more Upside is probably going to go with Urs.
Urs has a big social media following. The Miracle Bear. We was on Prejudge last year at the Olympia. It was right up there with C-Bum.
Tim, these guys live off of social media. You and I, Chris, will never understand how important it is for these guys what's in the computer. They live off, they make money off of this device that's virtual, the followers. Oh, you posted a picture of me, I didn't look good on that picture. My sponsor, they live off. It's so unfamiliar to us. We're the magazine people.
Chris and I post pictures when we work out so that if we get lost, people will know where we were last.
Exactly.
Oh, they were at the gym, they can't be far.
Right.
For them, the social media is their livelihood. So what transpired was Mike Sommerfeld posted some comparison pictures with Urs Kalaczynski. And all those pictures were beneficial to Mike, meaning he chose some angles, some specific pictures, and he posted. And obviously, he's sending a message to Urs, I'm better than you. Some people were very critical of Mike Sommerfeld, said, oh, you didn't pick the right angles. You know how they do that.
Yeah.
And they said, you lost to him.
He's ahead of the game physically right now. So I could understand where he would be like, hey, I'm here too. I shared the same type of mentality against Flex Wheeler. He had the flashy name. I was, I had the real deal thing, but you can't beat the word flex. Like flex is.
His parents were ready for him to be a bodybuilder.
That's the thing.
You're going to be named Flex.
You're going flex. But that makes them better because they're going to fight like hell trying to beat each other. And in the end, it's going to be a good thing for both of them to have a rivalry and to make the best and get the best out of each other. That's what he did back in the day.
Now, which one of you guys, you probably both know the answer to this question. What are the ages on these guys? No, Urs is a baby. He's like 26, 27.
I think maybe.
No, Urs is younger than that. He's like 24.
Oh, yeah. And Sommerfeld is a little bit older. The thing is, Tim, in the United States, you don't have this, I'm the best bodybuilder in my country. When the guys competed in the 90s, Chris, Flex, Sean, Ronnie, there wasn't that. But if you come from a country and you have all the following, you want to be the best bodybuilder of that country. You talk to Rafael Brandão in Brazil, you mention any other bodybuilder, he gets pissed. He's like, I'm the only one. You know what I mean? Ramon Dino, he's the only one. He doesn't want anybody talking about anybody else. In Germany, you can't just say that. There's probably some following from Urs, probably some following from Mike Sommerfeld, and what they really want to do is shut that door. What Urs wants to do is beat the hell out of Sommerfeld in the next Mr. Olympia and show to everybody, hey, I don't know why you guys are talking about this guy.
I think a problem would be, Germany's a decent-sized country, but I'm shocked.
90 million.
90 million, but you bring up Brazil having 226 million.
Brazil, we were talking about the Nigerians.
221 million. I had no clue.
Yeah, huge countries. And if you go to a third world country, the following on social media is a lot more passionate than United States. The Iranians, oh my God, they go crazy on social media. India, Brazil. In Finland, if the national Finnish team doesn't win the World Cup, people don't go crazy, Did you see what happened to Argentina when they won the World Cup? Guys are like jumping off bridges. I'm like, if you die, you can't celebrate anymore. So,
they celebrated.
It's really passionate for them.
The whole highway was full of fans.
Guys are falling, people getting hurt. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Well, this is a great rivalry among the many, but as guys like Terrence Ruffin decide what he wants to do as Breon moves up, you can't just be satisfied with the Ramon Dino C-Bum rivalry.
I think it's going to shake up next year anyway. I think it's going to be a shake up.
What kind of shake up? Be specific, Chris.
Well, we got a little guy that was second a couple times that fell back to sixth. And I'm sure he's not going to be happy staying there in sixth.
Okay, so you're saying Terrence is going right back to it?
I think so. I think so.
I think Terrence is going to give Ramon Dino a big run for his money. I'll put that on an ISO camera all day and tell you T-Ruff.
He's not that tall, but he's very good.
But he is. The lines, the
Terrence-
symmetry,
Terrence
the
is
definition.
amazing.
He can make his body transform.
Rough Diesel is not playing when he comes back
He can make his body
this year.
transform before your eyes.
So let's have some dinosaurs on your social media, Tim.
Bring the angry dinosaurs. bring the T-Rex. Bring
Terrence is beating Ramon Dino at the 2023 Mr. Olympia?
Yes. I'm going to say that, and you can just get me with the angry dinosaurs
And what's
say
your Instagram handle?
Tim Wilkins Live or at TK Gindy.
That's the guy lives in Sarasota. He lives in Sarasota. As you guys know, there's no Brazilians in Florida.
But he has
not a single Brazilian
But
in Florida.
he is an ex-Marine.
This is what you don't know because you don't travel.
Get the dinosaurs in.
Okay, you don't know. I live in Orlando, which is more Brazilian now than it is Disney. There are more Brazilians.
Calling all dinosaurs.
I hear Bom Dia and see pizza with eggs and mayo on it more than anywhere in California. There are more Brazilians than in your house.
They're all running out of Brazil, going to Florida.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had Marcia Gonçalves, Natalia Coelho is there. We have like 5 Brazilian pros in Orlando.
Brazilians coming to America, they're like, I ain't going back.
Hey, so get those likes up. Subscribe, guys. You got to get the subscriptions up.
Send me your dinosaurs.
Keep these lights on,
I
man.
do
We gotta
not
keep
care.
the lights on here.
Send
you
us-
don't get the lights.
Are you Team Tarek or are you Team Cormier?
Cormier.
And if you are Team Tarek,
I want to see it in the
go
comments.
ahead and write it down. If you're Team Cormier, I'm going to block your ass.
And
He looks like John Belushi. Tell him.
And I am team. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
All right, we're back, and as always, we take a time every few episodes to thank you for watching and your comments. We love your feedback. We love your support of the show, and we're going to kick things off, guys. Chris, what do you got there, buddy?
I got Braun Believes Fitness. Love all these physique reviews, and we love it too. We love bringing you just the facts here on Primetime Muscle.
Tarek.
Okay, I got 2 really good comments here. The first one is from Amir Hussein Mohammed. He goes, now the time for Bob to say, Hadi Schuppen. Actually, I was going to read the other one from Kurs4388. Thanks, Tarek. Let Chris have it, brother.
Inception VJ, great show, guys. Thank you. And Daps with a Z. Now, this is a prototypical episode, best show format of all. Thank you, Daps.
Dylan Jones, enjoy this, comma, very entertaining.
Okay, Okechuka Daniel. Okechuka Daniel, 6775. Mr. Tarek El Gindi, let me be real to you. Your son, Andrew Jacked, deserved more than 8th placing in the last year's Mr. Olympia. He's supposed to place a lot more higher.
That high school.
First of all, Okechuki Daniel, I hope you use just Daniel as your name, okay?
Okechuki.
I think you're gonna get more dates just by using Daniel. But that's just me. Second of all, everybody loves Andrew Jack just like you do, and he's not my son. Okay, I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know, that high school mission trip.
He always putting this comment, your son Andrew Jacked. He's not my son.
You made that
Are you sure?
high school mission trip to Nigeria. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. The age is perfect.
He's always saying your son Andrew Jacked.
I got Cuz Jr. saying, Tarek looking 21 years old today with a smile.
Yeah.
Betty Ona, the best review of an Olympia, entertaining, well-spoken, deep, professional discussion. Thank you, Betty. All right. Again, we thank you. We want to make sure to always acknowledge you for your support of the show, your comments, your subscription to the show, and sticking around to see what 3 characters like us have to say is always appreciated. That said, YouTube is a big thing. I hate to sound old with you kids and your YouTube. That's going to catch on, I tell you. But there are YouTubers. We talk about this all the time that are making a pretty good living and making a whole lot of notoriety. But there's some bodybuilders that have tapped into this big time.
First and foremost, Tim Wilkins from Sarasota.
Negative.
Nowadays, if you are a professional bodybuilder, you gotta have your YouTube channel. There's just no other way around it. That's how you make your dough. That's how you make your money. You gotta have your YouTube channel, because once you sign with an apparel company, they wanna see it on your YouTube channel. You gotta grow your YouTube channel to 1 million, 2 million, as many as possible, and use that as your platform for you to make money. No professional bodybuilder should go on stage. And I'm telling you, this is your homework. You should have a YouTube channel. Chris, I mean, I know this is unfamiliar, but wouldn't you agree with that? This is the new way to make money.
Yes, and your live is what people want to see, and they want to see an inside lane on how you go about your business of bodybuilding, and that's what's going to make the money. That's what you got to do.
They want to see how you lift, how you eat, how you get to and from home to the gym in the car you can't afford because you're a boss with that Louis bag over your shoulder walking out to the Mercedes. You know what I'm talking about? They're walking out all swagged out.
Yeah.
Don't finance this stuff. You're a bodybuilder, man. Pay cash or don't get it. But you got to go out to see it. You think about the followings on just IG. Think about Chris, Yarishna, Nick Walker's got a huge following. Derek, who are some of the guys that are really capitalizing on this format?
Well, I think C Bum is the one that has like amazing engagement, and he doesn't try to be a star. He doesn't try to be anything different. It's a great example of, hey, I'm just gonna videotape my life and gonna utilize that to my advantage. He's not trying to project anything.
Yeah, Breon Ansley is he's pretty hard worker on it. He has a lot of commercial background in theater and everything, and he works very hard on his social media.
Internationally, who are there some people? I mentioned Eurasian, but let's talk Brazil. We'll talk maybe India, China. There's some bodybuilders that are good and young. The
greatest YouTuber in the world with the biggest fitness YouTube channel in the world is Renato Cariani from Brazil. He's an IFBB Pro Classic Physique. He has close to 5 million subscribers on his YouTube. He gets incredible engagement. This guy is so good that during the Brazil election, the president of Brazil went to do a podcast with him. That's
impressive.
That would be like Trump, Barack Obama going to do a podcast with Nick Walker. He actually brought the president to talk about it on his podcast. He's an IFBB Pro Classic Physique, and he's a master at YouTube. What he does is everything. He films workout meals, but more than that, he creates a narrative. It's just not a day in the life of Renato. My son just told me I'm going to be a grandfather. And you would think, what does that have to do with bodybuilding? Nothing. But you get to see a bodybuilder living a moment like anywhere any of us would live. And people love that stuff. He's a master of social media. Follow him, his Renato Cariani channel. I'm a huge fan. This guy is a mega star in Brazil.
Is it all in Portuguese?
All in Portuguese.
Right. You'll help us.
Okay.
I
said okay.
Listen to me, bro.
I said okay.
Hey, bro, just a second. You can put subtitles on any YouTube channel.
You got to show us how to do that.
You can go to a YouTube channel in Spanish, and you just click in one setting, and you go subtitles, and then you read that.
Listen, Millennial.
Nice.
So Chris and I are the only ones on this on this dais here that actually get discounts on coffee and cheap hotel rooms from AARP. So if there's something you got to share with us, share with us. So
teach us.
Chris also getting discount with Adult Search. Let me tell you. Coupon Adult Search.
So
Chris Cormier.
Stupid.
So you guys had.
He's shy right now.
Who else has a big following? Who else? Renato. You got Renato. You got Chris.
In India, Sharu. huge following. Shrew is very popular in India. You talk about Europe, Urs Kaliczynski, and also in Europe, what was that guy, that men's physique guy from Spain? He was huge too.
With the white hair,
something,
yeah. I'll think of it in a minute.
Serge
Constance?
Yes, he was huge.
He's still huge after
Spain.
He hasn't competed
Spain.
in a couple years, but his content is phenomenal. His videos he puts to music with his training. Ryan Terry's another one that was really good in the last.
Bradley Martin.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a story about Bradley Martin. I was sales manager at Gold's Gym Fullerton, and we were about to open Gold's Gym Fullerton, and I needed to hire these trainers. And some of these guys came in to apply. We needed trainers desperately, so we hired everybody. And Bradley Martin came in to get a job. Man, he was a riot. He was a riot since he would come in, the gym was not even open, and he would try to come in the pre-sale office, lift weights. He wanted to compete. He wanted to cause chaos. He was already a riot at his early age as a trainer at Gold's Gym Fullerton. And right now, he's got his gym, he's got his channel.
Just opened up his second gym, I heard.
Yeah. It's called the Zoo Culture.
But another one has two.
Apparently there was a controversy because he called all the influencers to go to the gym, and all those dudes showed up. But then all their fans showed up too. So he had about 78,000 people in there. They called fire marshal on his ass and said, "Hey, you can't have that many people."
It's a tough problem to have for a grand opening.
Yeah.
All right, so the moral of the story here is if you're starting off or if you're making your way, your YouTube is your real estate, and you want to make it a high traffic area. Make that money, establish who you are, and put out good content. Speaking of good content, after the break, we got some great content. Yeah, buddy. We'll talk about that when we come back.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on Trifecta.
All right, we're back, and guys, it is the 20-year anniversary-ish. We're celebrating 20 years of the freak show that is Ronnie Coleman.
Freaky dick.
Dude. What an icon, and everybody to this day looks back at his training and says, that was insane.
And still to this day, you're going to find some monstrous training. I'm talking about, I worked out with him just to see how intense it was.
And?
It was very intense. It felt like you got in a physical fist fight with this guy after the workout. Because you just beat up, you just like, I remember we were in New Zealand, and it was just he's just funny without being funny. He's just funny. And we're in New Zealand, we were setting up for the show, and we all getting in places to see where we're gonna be on a stage when the curtains open up. So it's got competitors from all over the world, a lot from New Zealand, Australia, us from America, a few guys from Europe, and the promoter is saying, "Okay, I want you guys 2, 4, 6, 8. Like we're going to line up here, and we're gonna have you 1, placing 3, placing 5." And then one of the competitors said, "What?" And he said, and Ronnie says, "Oh, y'all don't got odds and even out here?" He said 2. He said 1, 3, 5. That's all. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's even. And man, when he said that, like the guy couldn't hear, but he heard a mistake, and he said, "Y'all got odds and evens out here." Anyway, story time with Chris Cormier.
Story time with Uncle Chris. So you came to the States, what, 98, 99?
1998, November 1998, and which was kind of interesting because we were living the magazine era in Brazil, and when rumor came that Ronnie Coleman had won the 1998 Mr. Olympia, we all thought it was a hoax. We thought it was a hoax that,
Well, but we were beating him all the time.
That was listen.
He was never beating us before that.
We always bought the magazines, and we lived in Brazil, and we would absolutely read every single word. We would look at every single picture. We would know all the stories. Ronnie Coleman was never part of that selected group of guys on the first call out. It was Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, Chris Cormier, and Dorian Yates was the master of them all. He was winning all the shows. That was it. Ronnie Coleman was that guy that, 7th, 8th, one good year, he got 6th. He was never on the radar. And then it came rumors that Ronnie Coleman had won the Olympia. People thought it was a hoax. Magazine comes out, we look at it, and it's real. You got to understand, we're in Brazil. Those magazines come
4 months after, 5 months after.
And you don't have way of finding out. Newspaper, it doesn't go on television. So he becomes this
myth.
And then he loses to Gunter in 2022. And then he shows
2002, New Orleans.
2002, New Orleans. He shows up with the purple, trunks at the 2003 Mr. Olympia, and he shocks the world. The amount of mass that he had, people were just absolutely hypnotized by how much muscle he gained from 2002 to 2003. He had opened a Pandora box that we had never seen. He was massive. He was huge. He was shredded. People on stage with him were like, I can't believe we're competing against this guy. He set new standards. You were there. When he showed up in 2003, what did you guys think?
Well, the thing is, knowing that he was pretty pissed off from losing to Gunther, you knew that, that's the type of day it was back then. If you said someone's name or you got, you're just looking for a reason to turn it on back then. And that was his reason. He got threatened that he was going to lose his title, and he wasn't about to try to have anything to do with, tarnishing his legacy.
Let's go back to the training. So there's the video after video. He's in the combat boots. He's in the shorts. He's doing walking lunges with 225, 315.
The big yellow tights on.
The big yellow tights. Godly amount of weight. Squatting 700 pounds for reps to the floor.
The tights wasn't big, but those legs was huge.
Ooh.
But he didn't always have the biggest legs. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
He didn't always have the biggest legs. And then, he got with Chad Nichols. His body blew up. Thanks to Flex Wheeler, telling him maybe you should contact Chad to help you.
Thanks,
like that.
Thanks, Flex.
Thanks, Flex. That was great. And so
I hate to interrupt you, Chris. Prior to him winning 1998, he didn't have a coach. No. It was him getting with Chad that really helped him out.
Helped him, yeah.
So, did he train like an animal, like he did always?
Yeah, but that wasn't the thing. It was
his protocol was weak.
Here's the thing. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, with the diet or the protocols or whatever, all that's going to change because he already had the work ethic. He was getting up. He was working as a cop. He was, his training crazy. He trained in that 100 and some god-awful degrees gym.
With that warehouse-looking thing?
Yeah, and it's dirt on the floor. And I was telling him, because I went there before, and there's dirt on the floor and there's dirt on your feet when you go on a leg press, and your feet are sliding around on the leg press while you're trying.
You got 30 plates on that thing.
Yeah, and your feet sliding around, and that's normal to them. And I was like, you guys are crazy training in here.
Dang.
You got some kind of thought in your mind you want to put on the wall, just go and write it on the wall. whatever.
27 reps,
Yeah,
605.
Whatever inspirational, motivational thing you want to say, just put it on the wall.
We did a Boys and Girls Club event when he was down guest posing at the Southern States in like 99, 2000. And we drove up after that to the Boys and Girls Club in the morning, and they packed this little arena, all these kids in the bleachers, like 500 of them, between about 7 and 12 years old. And I said, what do you want to do? How do you want to work this? He said, they don't want to hear a big speech, man. They just want to see my muscles, and let's go. So they had a lone bench press in the middle of the basketball court. I said, what do you want? He goes, put on 225, Timmy. And I go and put on 225. Kink, 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 kink. And he gives about 3 sentences. They cheer. He goes, put on 315. And I put on a couple 45s. Kink, kink, kink. He says something else, about 2 more sentences. And then he said, put on 405. Kink, kink, kink. Goes up. Who wants to touch my muscles? All 500 kids hanging on his arms. I know he impacted those kids more that day by not giving some speech that nobody was going to listen to. He knew exactly what they wanted, knew how to fire up these kids, get them motivated, and say, all right, stay in school, listen to your parents, don't do drugs, stay off the streets. He had an amazing message, but he kept it tight and just said, this is who I am right here.
Part of the myth of Ronnie Coleman is not only the 2003 monstrous performance, is not only him winning 1998, coming out, from 9th place to winning. It's not his 8 titles, but it's also his simplicity as a human being. He's a simple guy with that Southern accent. Most people don't know, but he is he went to school for accounting, and he was a police officer. So this guy is a very simple man with a very simple heart that did everything he could to become the best bodybuilder in the world. And so he did, and now he is a legend. We use a lot of this word, oh, he's a legend. There's like 13-year-old kids saying, oh, I'm a legend. No. There are a few legends in this world.
So
Michael Jordan.
It's not because you're older it makes you a legend.
No.
Because that's what people think in the sport. He's older. Oh, you're a legend.
Legend. No, he was sport.
You gotta do legendary things.
Michael Jordan is a legend.
You gotta do legendary things.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a legend. Barry Sanders is a legend.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods is a legend. Chris Cormier is a legend. Ronnie Coleman is a legend. Flex Wheeler is a legend. These people that have done what they have, it's not too many that have come even close to them.
So you talk about the yellow tights. I remember the pictures of him in his uniform, his police uniform towards the end.
Bulging out of
it. And it looked like some character from Reno 911.
He goes in,
get out of the car,
on that domestic violence call where the daughter beat up the mom, and he just walks in and the daughter starts crying. She's like, oh man, I chose the wrong officer.
Wrong day.
They just brought this monster to arrest me here. Sorry, mama.
That thin blue line just got thick. 2 C's. All right, Ronnie, it's big shout out and much love from the crew. Your fellow legend, Chris Cormier.
Much love, Big Ron.
The big nasty.
Dude.
All day.
20 years of inspiration.
Ain't nothing but a peanut.
20 years of just hearing your voice in our heads to lift a little heavier and lift those heavy ass weights. As always, we appreciate your comments, your support. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. We aim to be the only show that's the road to the Olympia, and it presents
just the facts.
Just the facts.
Like, wait.
As always, the real deal, Chris Cormier.
Thank you. Good to be here, guys. We got another one down.
Tarek El-Guindy.
Great to be here. Let's go. 2023 Mr. Olympia. The best or nothing.
Tim Wilkins, as always, we'll see you next time on Primetime Muscle.